Right. Hello again. You're going to get really tired of my face because I'm going to keep doing these videos now. I've got notice of rescission and deregistration, which is a template that I downloaded the other day. I haven't read this one out yet because it still needed editing to kind of suit my needs. But I've got it now, so if anyone wants to copy this one as well, taking back true ownership of your own car, I'm sure you worked pretty hard to pay for it. I don't think that you knew when you were registering it to the DVLA that you were giving up legal title, legal ownership of it, and that you can take ownership back of it as well. So if you want to do that and you want to serve a notice to the DVLA, this is what you need to say. Got the title again, Notice of Rescission and Deregistration. And then underneath we have Notice to Principal is Notice to Agent and Notice to Agent is Notice to Principal. Just because equality before law is paramount. So if they're going to serve notices on us, we have the right to serve them back as well. So this is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer of the DVLA. His name is Oliver Morley. He's really difficult to get hold of. I got there in the end. So, dear sir, I hereby serve notice on the Ministry of Transport and the DVLA by way of service upon the CEO of the DVLA, Oliver Morley, that I rescind and revoke ab initio all actual and presumed contractual obligations with said commercially operated agency known as the DVLA. In accord with my claim of right, which is this one that I read out to you yesterday or the day before, whenever I did that one, that's my claim of right. So that was served by way of recorded delivery. It hasn't been yet, it hasn't been notarised, but this is being written in advance. So I've put the date on for when I served this notice to the 6 heads of state, so the Queen, the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, there's 6 of them. Archbishop of Canterbury, there's all these high people that I have to serve my notice to. And then, basically, I'm on the same level as the Queen then, and I'm a sovereign being. So she can't tell me anything. I am royalty, bitch. Anyway, so in accord with my claim of right, as served by way of recorded delivery, on the woman acting as the Queen of England and the Commonwealth, I hereby reiterate my right to travel by whatever form of conveyance I choose without having to enter into any contractual obligation with DVLA. I also claim the right to revoke the unlawful contract formed by the enclosed provisional driver's licence. It has been and is of no use to me. Why would a woman need a licence to perform an action that is her lawful right? It is taken as unlawful on the grounds that I was not given full disclosure of the terms and conditions embedded within said contract licence. Given that it is a logical fallacy to claim that a licence is required to carry out a lawful action, I claim the right to rescind the licence on the illogical basis of its existence. For avoidance of doubt, I do not drive a DVLA registered vehicle. I travel in my own private conveyance. I am not a driver, which I understand to mean one who is travelling on the highways and engaging in commercial activity thereupon, and politely decline any and all future attempts at persuading me or falsely asserting otherwise. I no longer wish to contract with an organisation that is based on a deception and one that uses force, coercion and theft to enforce falsely represented contractual obligations on people. I claim the right to be bound by, not to be bound by the statutory requirement of any and all motor vehicle acts of a parliament I have no allegiance to. I'm not a citizen, a subject, or the trustee for the legal entity, trust account, fictional person known as Miss Hannah Shotbolt. Therefore, I hereby claim the right to travel freely along any highway, water or skyway without limitation and without constraint of any nature whatsoever, across the landmass or by way of water around what is commonly known as the British Isles by whatever choice of conveyance is available to me. Indeed, this right is factually supported by the following, which states, most of the offences committed under the Highways Act 1980 are designed to punish those who endanger or interfere with users of a highway or who damage or obstruct a highway. There is no statutory definition of a highway, only a common law one. That definition is quite clear. A highway is a way over which all members of the public have the right to pass and repass. Their use of the way must be as of right and not on sufferance or by licence. That's from Sweet and Maxwell's Encyclopedia of Highway and Law Practice, March 2002. as a free woman, indigenous to this landmass, known since ancient times as Albion, it is my understanding that the right to freedom of travel for all who are such is enshrined in the Union with Scotland Act 1706 Article 4, which unequivocally guarantees the right to safe and unhindered passage, trade and navigation and other rights, that all subjects of the United Kingdom of Great Britain shall from and after the Union have full freedom and intercourse of trade and navigation to and from any port or place within the said United Kingdom and the dominions and plantations thereunto belonging, and that there be a communication of all other rights, privileges and advantages which do or may belong to the subjects of either kingdom, except where it is otherwise expressly agreed in these articles. Hang on, let me shut the door. Okay. So, furthermore, any and all attempt ab initio to pre-fine someone are contrary to the Bill of Rights Act 1688 and several grants and promises made of fines and forfeitures before any conviction or judgment against the persons upon whom the same were to be levied, all which are utterly directly contrary to the known laws and statutes and freedoms of this realm. You are hereby informed that any act which prevents me from enjoying my right to travel anywhere in the UK is contrary and inconsistent with the Acts of Union 1706 and the Bill of Rights 1688. These are constitutional acts and remain paramount. In accord with my right to revoke all contractual obligations with the DVLA, you are also served notice that the vehicle that once carried the registration plate, blah blah blah, is now deregistered with immediate effect and will display a private mark bearing the word Namaste in recognition of this. The previous plates and paperwork previously associated with the automobile are returned to the Jersey State. Please amend your records accordingly. Furthermore, I claim the right to establish a fee schedule for any transgressions against me that is or are perpetrated by peace officers, government principals, agents or the DVLA or justice system participants. So that's the fee schedule from my intent and claim of right when I start charging them money for talking to me, questioning me, handcuffing me, blah blah blah. You are hereby requested to respond within 5 working days of this notice being served. Should you fail to suggest or provide me with an alternative means of exercising my birthright within this time, then for want of an alternative, you will have to accept my version. Declaration. I declare that whilst in charge of any conveyance upon the public highway, I will be at all times exercising due caution, awareness, and travelling at speeds deemed safe for the conditions. Naturally, I will not be engaging in actions which would endanger another's life. Without malice, mischief, ill will, vexation, or frivolity, in sincerity and honour, by the free woman on the land commonly known as Hannah of the Shotbolt family, the occasional authorised representative to Miss Hannah Shotbolt, and all derivatives thereof, all rights reserved, without recourse, non-assumptive, errors and omissions accepted, mailing address, blah blah blah. So, I will serve this notice. You've been served, Mr. Oliver Morley, on probably the same date that I have this notarised. I will be sending him a notarised copy because I understand that if I were to send him it just like this, it's his prerogative not to look at it. The notary public, I found out, is actually just as powerful as a judge. So, lucky I managed to get this guy on side, because he's going to be notarising a lot of documents for me now, acting as a free woman. And he's a really good price as well, so if anybody else wanted to kind of take back responsibility for their own life again, and start acting lawfully rather than legally, then I can give you his details. So I hope this is helpful. See my dad in the background. But yeah, if you've got any questions or anything on that one, comment them below. But that one is what you need to address to the DVLA, to take back ownership and title, legal title of your car, which you have given up. And that's what happens when you register anything, whether it's your children, whether it's your car, whether it's your house, you are giving up legal title of your property. So take it back. Have a great day.